Zoom recording will work. Sometimes I mean, I'm going to play the video, but sometimes it doesn't sound good, but I'll try.
All right, guys, welcome to our Tuesday night team call. Marilyn Mosier here from Northwest Iowa. It's a beautiful spring evening and just so gracious that it has been 10 years this month that I've been activated. And my friend Sharon, as you know, walked into my office 10 years ago, knocked on my door, shared an ABC primetime investigative report that really caught my attention. And I looked at the peer-reviewed research. I noticed it was, peer-reviewed research, patented, and publicly traded company. And when I found out what NRF2 activation could do, that just was a no-brainer for me. I signed up right away on the spot. I've been taking the product now 10 years, blessed my family. Little did I know that it would turn into a full-time gig, and I was able to retire from my full-time radiology profession in my full-time radiology job. And that was just an amazing thing that I never would have seen, the blessing behind this. So we just never know how our lives are going to change, how we're going to bless someone's life just by knocking on their door and saying, hey, do you have 5 minutes to watch this information? And that's all what we do, is we connect people to this amazing information. And it's so exciting that we're getting back to the NRF2 message. We're streamlining it back to the basics, back to what it was 10 years ago when most of us started in this company. And that NRF2 activation is what really our flagship product, Protandim, got us started. So that Level Up call, if you're on Facebook, get on the Level Up Your Life group. 30 and 30 calls every night, 8 p.m. Central, is those opportunity webinars that are live on Facebook there. Also, the Flip the Switch tonight is with Brandon Cunningham. He's a Pro 10 out of Florida. That'll be a great call right after this one. Remember, we have LifeVantage Academy coming up. Julia will walk through how to get registered for that, but I wanted to remind you, you can get these really cool bags when you get signed up for Elite Academy in July 10th. So go ahead and get signed up, get your ticket. It comes with a journal, it comes with a pen and a little cool pen in there's two of them here, I guess, Life or Elite Academy pen, but these are really cool kind of burlap bags that you get with your registration. So get registered, and they do have more of these amazing kits with the new CBD NRF2 skincare line, you guys. And this is first to market. We have CBD activated NRF2 skincare body care. The body butter is amazing. The deodorant is awesome. The body lotion, the wash, the body rub. Can't wait for my massage therapist to use this. The soothing balm. They're coming out with the bath soak. There's a beauty serum. So the kits are still available, but not the brush sets. So also tomorrow night, live on Facebook on the official LifeVantage page. And that's also where the Flip the Switch every Tuesday night. Those are going to be live on Facebook on the official LifeVantage page. But tomorrow night is the big announcement for the 2 new flavors of Axio that are going live. So do you want to get those, because they are going to be awesome. And we found out a hint what they might be. So you'll have to turn in live. You're going to love it. So new Axio flavor, more of the training on the body care, getting registered for LVA, getting registered for Elite Academy in July. So many great things. And Julia Mills is a Pro 5 out of Raleigh, North Carolina. She's an amazing leader on our team. And she's going to take the call, talk about some validation calls. And we're going to honor some nurses tonight, because it's Nurses Week was last week, actually started. But this is really a great time to honor them with some amazing, an amazing call that she has recorded. And she's going to walk us through how to get registered for LifeVantage Academy. I think that's all of the housekeeping notes. So thank you, Julia, for hosting.
So much going on. I mean, it is so, but the great thing is LifeVantage has it all organized. I mean, really, on those Facebook groups, the official LifeVantage distributor Facebook group, the Level Up Facebook group. So if you guys need access to those, just let us know, but become a member, make sure you're joined to those so you have access to all these things. It's incredible. Yeah, so real quick, what I'll first do is I'll share my screen. So we've gotten emails from corporate talking about the LifeVantage Academy, which is going to be virtual. And it's also going to be in 3 cities. It's going to be in Salt Lake City, Phoenix, Arizona, and Orlando, Florida. Marilyn, can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, good. So, this is in your back office, or from the email that LifeVantage sent, you can click on it and it will just take you right to this. So there's the virtual registration as well. And then, or if you have people, this is one thing, I have some customers and distributors in Phoenix and in Orlando. I got to think about Salt Lake, but this is a great opportunity. It's only $25. So first of all, if our distributors are in those cities, make sure you're letting them know to get registered and to attend. If you have a potential business partner or a customer, I would recommend them going. I mean, that's just another kind of third party validation as well, is get people to live events. As you guys know, it really is huge. Just belief factor, right? I mean, being around the people and being able to meet everybody, it's huge. You can't replace it. So that's a great opportunity. Basically, you'll just register and just go through the process. But wanted to just kind of throw that out there, is get people to those events. If you have a friend, a family member, or somebody in those cities or near there, have them go. It's just $25. What a fun event it would be. So that's that.
We do need to actually all register for going to attend, even if you're doing the virtual. Did you say that? I might have missed that.
Well, not, yep, thanks, Marilyn. I mean, that, yes, you have to register for the virtual LifeVantage Academy. So Elite Academy virtual July. Okay, so to your point, Marilyn, would we just register then for a city?
Yeah, or you could do the virtual one. It just says City, Utah virtual registration is the one yeah.
Oh, okay. I think this one. Okay, virtual. Gotcha. Yes. Okay. Yep. There it is. Okay. I was thinking that was just Salt Lake City. Are they having actual in-person in Salt Lake, or is it just virtual out of Salt Lake?
I think there was going to be limited participation, that they were going to have people there, but don't quote me. But I think it's virtual out of Utah and then limited for who's going to be there. But
okay. So just jump in. I know we have Kathy on the line and Anita. Just jump in if you have any questions on that. Otherwise, what I wanted to do, it's Nurses Appreciation Month, I believe, or I don't know, Marilyn, you said maybe last week, but I've seen posts and have friends, obviously, and our business partners, many are nurses. And so I just did a quick search and just to see some statistics on nurses, because I thought, if we're going to be talking to nurses about our products and about our opportunity, I did a little research on some statistics. I think it's pretty interesting. And I'm going to take a little bit of time here. I'm going to read it, if that's okay. Because I kind of want to get the full picture here. And then I'm going to show a video of an interview that I did with Marsha Livingston, who is a Pro 7 out of Michigan, and she is has a wonderful story. She does a great job. So when I'm thinking about talking with nurses now, and as Carrie Dickey always says, find the pain points. Well, here are some serious pain points that are going on in the nursing profession right now. And I'll tell you, I was in the ER January 1st, actually, and the care was, it was very evident that there was a lot of stress in the nurses. Honestly, the way that they were treating me, I thought it was very apparent. And so these statistics really do point that out. So healthcare workers on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic risk exposure to coronavirus daily. They're talking about how it's taken a toll on their mental health as well. They did a mental health survey, and what they found, they surveyed 1,119 healthcare workers, and 93% were experiencing stress. I mean, we talk about how we lower oxidative stress, which is caused by psychological stress and mental stress a lot of times. 86% reported anxiety. 77% reported frustration, 76% exhaustion and burnout, and 75% said they were overwhelmed. I was just amazed at these high statistics. This is out of healthcare finance. They also, this was, I thought, really important. They also worried about exposing their loved ones, and more than 3/4 of healthcare workers with children said they worried about exposing their children and older members. And also, half reported they are lacking quality time or are unable to support their children or be a present parent. I mean, we hear that all the time with why this business fits in so nicely to being able to be a present parent, being able to be there for your family, whether it's your children when they're young or when they're growing, or your older parents. Just, the blessings you receive from this business, being able to be with who you need to be when you need to be there, is such an important reason why I do this business, and why it's just brings so much to my life. And I know so many others as well. We've talked about that quite a bit. Emotional exhaustion was a common answer for changes in how healthcare workers were feeling from the previous 3 months. Trouble with sleep, 82%. Physical exhaustion, work-related dread, changes in appetite, physical symptoms like headache or stomach ache, questioning their career path, right? We have an option, right? We have an option that you can do on the side that can lead to full-time if you were thinking about the career path you're currently not in is not serving you anymore. We have options. We have options for health. We have options for a side income that can turn into a full-time income that brings you joy and purpose, right? Compassion fatigue, heightened awareness, feeling too tired. One thing that I thought was interesting, and I'll just stop on this, is that sleep, alarmingly, 90% said they've been getting less than the recommended 8 hours of sleep each night. And 1 in 3, so a third, admitted to getting 4 hours or less. That's just awful. So nurses have a lot of pain points that we could address. Wouldn't you think? I would think so, for sure. And just finally, almost 50% have cried at work in the past year, and 67% of nurse practitioners admitted doing the same. So that is information that I'm going to keep in the back of my mind whenever I'm talking to someone in the nursing profession, and just really have them start talking about that and see if they're open to other options, see if they're open to getting help with their sleep, and stress as well, because we know our products can help with that. Marsha Livingston, I'm going to play a recording, an interview that I did with her. I met her when I was in Michigan, and she was presenting when we used to have, more of the training events. It was a Super Saturday. And so I met her up there, and we just became fast friends. And she's just really, like all the all the members of our LifeVantage family, willing to help and willing to support in any way that she can. So her story is really powerful. I'm going to play it for you. She is the top distributor in Michigan. So I believe she's a Pro 7. I believe she's the top distributor up there. And she will tell her story. And I'll play it now, so I hope you can hear it okay.
Okay, so I've been in the healthcare world for close to 40 years now. And when I was introduced to this by a physician friend in 2010, I thought he was crazy. I thought he lost his marbles and was, going down the Amway trail. And I just really was worried about him. I wouldn't even look at the ABC primetime video. Now, this man, I have to give him credit, and every time I see him, I always give him huge hugs. He was consistently persistent. He continued to follow up with me about every 3 weeks for going on 9 months. Really. That's awesome. Wow. And at one point, I was really kind of nasty to him. I said, Mike, isn't this a pyramid scheme? I did the whole thing. I threw up all over him. Well, he just would smile and say, you haven't watched the video. You watch the video and we'll talk. So eventually I did. And of course I was immediately enthralled that if this had real science behind it, I was all in.
Yeah.
It had to be real. It had to be real. So, I'd seen so many different things that people would hire a lab to run a few tests and say, you've got a great product. But never had I seen independent research centers funding their own research to look at this product. And eventually, my first go around was that very evening after I watched it. I went online. I was the director of a level 1 trauma center there in Lansing, Michigan. And so I had access to a lot of websites that we used for the residents because we had a residency program. And so I was able to look up real research and found 7 peer-reviewed published research papers on the product itself, which was also crazy because the science
on the NRF2?
on this product, on Protandim.
Okay.
It wasn't just on NRF2, it was on Protandim, which was
All on Protandim, okay.
because they don't look at products. They might look at NRF2 or oxidative stress, which they have. There's hundreds of thousands of studies on that. But the issue of looking at a specific natural product that was not a drug, that just didn't happen. But I found out why they were looking, and that's because Dr. McCord was known as the father of free radical biology in medicine. And the research world knew him. And they said, if this guy says this is going to reduce oxidative stress an average of 40% in the first 30 days, and we know that oxidative stress is the root cause of so many of the diseases that we deal with on a daily basis, they were all in also. And they paid for the product to research it themselves.
Wow.
And that has continued. We're up to, what do we have now, Julia, 27? I think we're up to 27 peer reviewed. And there's others that aren't peer reviewed that we can also look at. So there's just so much scientific evidence, and we have patents, and we have international patents. We have national, United States patents. That's just on our Protandim product. Then we have patents and patent pending on other products that we have come up with through the years. So when I got involved, there was just one, and it was the NRF2 product, but that was enough. And it just began to explode. And I think the thing that caught me off guard was the business side. I didn't really care about the business in the beginning. All I could think about was, oh, that's network marketing. I'll put up with it because that's how they're selling it. And I don't care how they sell it. We've got to get the word out. But the nice surprise for me was that in 2008, we had lost all of our retirement because we had it in real estate. And every piece of property that we owned was underwater, including the house we lived in.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, well, we aren't going to live long enough to have another 30 years to regrow this. So I guess we'll just work until we die. Not the case. Not the case. My daughter is a financial planner, and we hit Pro 5 in about 4 months. And she said, you have already created a retirement income that my GM workers work 40 years to have. Yeah. And I said, oh, maybe I better pay attention to the business side of things. I didn't even know how the comp plan worked. I just knew money was coming in the mail. So it was, and has been. It took me a while, I have to admit, to get over the whole network marketing piece. But you guys are young, so you don't necessarily have that issue that you have to overcome. You haven't had people beating down your door to try to get you to join Amway or some other network marketing company. So it is surprisingly one of the most incredible ways to build a business with integrity and honesty, because you won't be successful unless everyone that you bring in is successful. So just do your best to help others, and you're going to get rewarded in the process. It's just the way it ought to be. It's not the way it is in regular business or whatever we want to call. It's not that way in the healthcare world, but it's that way in this particular network marketing company called LifeVantage. It's just a phenomenal culture. It's supportive. Julie and I are not in the same line at all. We don't care. It doesn't matter because we're in the LifeVantage family, and our goal is to make this available to everybody. I want to give you one. I've got so many stories I could go on forever, but I want to give you one quick one. The very first
Okay, hi you guys. So I just stopped it there because it's 5 minutes to go, but that video, it goes on. She does share some stories about some patient testimonials and a couple that are pretty powerful. So it's available on the YouTube channel, and feel free to use that. But that was a third-party interview that I did with Marsha with a couple of my distributors, and so it just shows an example of that, and feel free to reuse it. You know, that's the nice thing. If they're recorded, we can reuse, and then if they want to meet with the person, we can easily set that up. So a lot of times people are really busy, and I like to just send a recording, you know, if needed, and then get them on the phone, you know.
Actually, yeah, that's what I've been doing too. And even that call that we did last week with that nurse, I had so many people get back to me and say, oh my gosh, I used that. And that was a great validation call.
Yep, I did too. Yep,
So,
it was
yep.
great. Exactly. Yes.
And sometimes people, if they see a face, you know, something about sending a Zoom or sending a video versus having them on a conversation with just a phone call. But always remember the ABC of doing a three-way call. Do you want to go over that as far as edification and the advisor? And
Sure. I mean, you're absolutely right, Marilyn. I mean, a video is something that can at least get them familiar with the person and maybe the story, and maybe can start to, you know, think about some questions, you know, if it's taking time to connect in, you know, kind of in person or on the phone, you know, but a live call is super important. And like you said, just to edify the person. So get to know, you know, you need to know who they are. And just edify them as a supportive member of the LifeVantage family. We all work together, you know, and yeah, that's what you want to do when you're setting up the call. Definitely, is build them up and say why, what they've done for you, what they mean for you, and that they're there to help support the team.
And I remember learning that concept early on. One of my very first training audio, it was an audio disc, because that's what I did, is listen to that on the way to work every morning when I first started. And the A is the advisor, the B is the bridge, and the C is the clients or the customers. So the customer and the bridge is you introducing them to the advisor. You're just giving props and, you know, edifying the advisor, and then connecting them and letting the advisor speak to the customer or the client. And you're just put yourself on mute and let the magic happen. So I really wish I would have used more of those calls, but for me, we did it more in person, like inviting them to a meeting and having them face to face with a one-on-one. But same thing, anytime you're not doing the actual presentation yourself and using someone else, no matter how far you are in the company, no matter how many PhDs and degrees. I know so many people that are doctors and nurses or whoever, and they still do three-way calls just because it's someone else telling their client or their customer or their friend and not them. So,
and you know, Marilyn, just to finish with that, it's so true. And then it's perfect timing with their end of our call here, but with not being the messenger, and if we follow the system by doing the connection to the third party, which everyone needs to do, no matter, like you said, what level you are, how many PhDs, doctorate, whatever level you are, even in healthcare, it still is important to do the three-way, because that's duplication. You're not the messenger then, you're a connector, and that's all we're doing is connecting. So we have to stay in that role of connecting, invite, connect, and let the magic happen, like you said. So that's the tool, that's the system.
So let's put a challenge out, because I know we had a Taylor Worry training last Wednesday. He asked us to do 7 three-way calls. and set those up. So I'm still working on getting my 7 in by tomorrow at 4. So I still have 24, almost 24 hours. Let's do that. Let's try to make sure that we're using these 3-way calls, whether it's a Zoom, whether it's a 3-way text. It could even be a messenger, but using someone beside yourself is the goal. So that is our challenge going out this week. And make sure you get registered for LifeVantage Academy, Elite Academy, and be on those calls tomorrow when they announce the new Axio flavors. Woohoo! All right.
Yeah,
And make sure you're using those level up calls. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Julia, for hosting. You did a great
you're
job.
welcome.
That was great. Love you guys. Have a great week.
Thank you. You too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.